And ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. It is the Two Schmoes Show. I'm your host, the Infamous Orion, and Kyril cannot hear me as I enunciate to the beat of this song a little bit more. So to him, I must be sounding very weird.
Okay.
A bit.
I thought you were gonna say pizza time.
Pizza time. You know, is like the Raimi meme community still going strong?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So, did you know Tobey Maguire did an AMA on Reddit?
It did.
Yes.
Yeah, it was very amusing.
It is one of those things where I'm glad we had the opportunity to do that. Very surprised he didn't do it until now.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't it? He was in like a producing role for that movie or something like that.
Yeah, he was a
So I guess
producer for Babylon, and then he came on to do that.
Yeah, so he probably had a bit more time. Yeah, it was cool. Really nice just to see a celebrity come on and do a Reddit AMA and not make a fool out of themselves for once.
You know, it'll never be as bad as Woody Harrelson's AMA.
Oh, that's the one. The one that I always think of is the James Corden AMA. Did you see that one?
No, please tell me more.
I'll see if I can find it. It was amazing. He was trying to do. Oh no, there. Don't make that hard to find. What was they doing? They were doing some AMA for an upcoming show or something like that.
Okay.
And it's all just shit like this. Hey James, you won't remember me, but me and my friends sat at a table next to you and Harry Styles, plus some others, in Manchurian Legends in London's Chinatown about 6 years ago. We didn't bother you, but you were a massive entitled cunt to everyone who yelled and treated the waitstaff like shit, and when one of my party politely suggested you calm down, you got really aggressive and threatened, in a chubby way, like a boozy panda. So my question is this, why did Harry seem so cool while you were such a massive throbbing bellend?
Please tell me he replied back to that.
You'll be shocked. He didn't.
What a coward.
The rest of them are all great. My brother's girlfriend played one of your videos on my YouTube account and now keeps recommending more of them to me. Do you know how to get it to stop that?
It reminds me of this one AMA David Bowie did. I believe I told this one on the show, but I'll just reiterate it real quick. Basic premise of it is this guy is like, hey Bowie, I was a chef at a hotel you stayed at. I was out running one day and I happened to meet you at a park bench. And I said, oh my god, you're David Bowie. You were very nice, you were cordial. He said, yes, and who are you? And I introduced myself as the chef at the hotel I knew you were staying at. And you just said, that's nice, and walked away. Bowie replies back, well, that is nice that you're a chef at a hotel. I'm sorry if I didn't give you the time and attention you deserve, but I go to a lot of hotels and there's a lot of chefs. You ain't that special.
That's good.
There's like more to it, but I don't have the exact meme up in my reference. But he goes on to say, like, every morning I wake up thinking about how I spited you out of attention or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's been a dull week.
It has been. It's a bit slow.
Yeah.
There's been, a few things of news that have popped up here and there. There's a tragic plane crash that happened in Nepal, I think earlier today. But not a whole lot going on, especially locally or in the US at least. I did find it really amusing on the BBC's website. For some reason, it must be a really slow week. They have an article, and it's their second most read article today about fucking Line 5 here in Michigan.
Why would the BBC care about Line 5?
Because they spun it. Why a US state is trying to shut down a Canadian pipeline. It's a slow day, so they're finding shit to fill in the gaps. Because this is like 5 years old now. This has been going on.
So they want to judge us for not wanting fucking oil in our lakes.
Yes.
Oh, I will fucking go to war with you, Britain. Your queen is down. You're underestimating how much we have an advantage over you at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
For all of you not in the know, do not support Line 5. It is a shitty, shitty little pipe that is going to go into our lakes, and then it more than likely will break because the company that does Line 5 has pipes that break all the goddamn time. So, I don't want giant reservoirs of oil in my goddamn Great Lakes.
Oh, this is great. For many Michiganders, it is a vital fuel supply, their main source of heating, delivering 55% of the state's propane needs, according to Enbridge. Dan Harrington is the owner of UP Propane, a major supplier of propane used for heating in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. Over concerns the pipeline would be shut down, he arranged an alternative supply route so as not to let down his 17,000 customers. We actually put in a rail terminal where we aren't getting any or very little of our propane from Line 5. So it's such a going concern that they're able to just get it from somewhere else right away.
So there's a nice little graphic. If you like literally Google Line 5 pipeline, there's a
Mm-hmm.
Sierra Club graphic that comes up right away in Google Images where it shows you all the spillage and leaks out of Line 5 per 1 million gallons over its
Yep.
lifetime.
Yep.
You cannot
Yeah,
make
it's
this
bad.
shit up. So yeah, fuck the UK. They were paid for that article. I can guarantee it. They were paid by some oil baron here in America to
Yeah.
go write that article up. Those fucking sluts. Did you see their article on Biden's classified documents issue he's got going on right now?
Yeah. The whole thing seems so stupid.
I mean, I think it is way overblown. Yes, I do like it when my politicians don't hoard classified documents, but
Sure.
it's not on the same scale of boxes upon boxes of boxes.
Exactly. The most recent update was that after a search of Biden's library, they found a whole 6 pages.
Yes.
Like that's not 6,000 or 600. It's just six.
I also want to point out when the BBC did their article on that, I think there was actually five more found today, but whatever. We'll 11 pages.
Right. That no, that was the total that brings it up to six. It was 1 page before. One of Biden's lawyers, who does not
Oh.
have uh, security clearance, found a classified page. It
Yeah.
was like, oh, this shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Called up presumably the DOJ or whatever. They're just like, yeah, that shouldn't be there. We'll come do a check, make sure there's not any more. They found 5 more pages to bring the total up to a whopping six, and that's it.
So, regardless,
That's what all this is over.
I was reading the BBC article on this today because I was just wondering if they ever said like the general scope of what those documents were. Probably will
Yeah.
never find that out because, quite frankly, they're classified for a goddamn reason. Um, and all they did was really talk about Biden's 1960 Chevrolet he has in his goddamn garage, which
Seriously?
I don't give a fuck. Biden's ancient. Biden probably had that thing the second it came out.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, that is a very weird thing. Unless whoever wrote that was a car buff, or big oil slut. I don't know.
Something like that.
Anyway, ever since the Queen died, the BBC has been going downhill, and I think we need to find a new international news source as a community.
I agree.
Yeah.
Nope, I've had the same thought. They've clearly started to take a pretty obvious slant on their reporting
Yep.
when it comes to international stuff. They've always had a pretty obvious slant for British news,
Yep.
but that didn't extend outside of the UK news for the most part, and that seems to have changed, unfortunately.
Thanks, Charles.
Hmm.
I'm blaming you, Charles. You're the only thing different here.
Yeah, it has to be his fault.
Leave Enbridge the fuck alone, Charles.
Hmm.
I will slap you, Charles. Anyway, do we have anything else we want to touch upon for big kid news?
Nope. Well, there's some Andrew Tate stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh, speaking of
Not
Andrew
like,
Tate, we have Justin Roiland, which I'm kind of excited about.
yeah, the whole thing's weird, but we can definitely talk about it. Um, The entertainment stuff is basically just that there's kind of no news. He filed an appeal and his appeal was denied. So the Romanian authorities are going to be retaining possession of his cars and properties and money, and he's going to be staying in jail.
Oh no.
Hmm.
Shock face emoji.
So what is the stuff with the Royland? I heard like snippets of it on Twitter, but never really looked into it too much.
Well, Morty, what you don't understand, Morty, is that Justin Roiland is facing domestic charges, Morty. He went all ballistic on his spouse, Morty. It's not good, Morty.
Mm.
Yeah. Uh, Overall, I kind of always figured there was something weird about Justin Roiland as a person,
Hmm.
but I did not want to ever say anything because why would I just go against like issues like that for no particular reason? It's not like in May 2020 Roiland was charged with felony domestic battery and false imprisonment in Orange County, California. It's not like he has a history of this kind of shit.
Definitely not.
In regards to that, I guess those 7 seasons of Rick and Morty are going to have different voice casting if he gets incarcerated.
Hmm.
Oh, cool. He started his own NFT project last year.
I'm sure that'll go well.
It's called Art Gobblers. Oh boy.
That's terrible.
What?
It's a terrible name.
Oh my god, I hate these things already.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're Rick and Morty ripoffs.
Mm.
Yeah. You know how like anything Justin Roiland does automatically just looks like Rick and Morty?
Hmm.
It's like
Yeah, because he only knows how to do one thing.
yeah, it's like Seth MacFarlane syndrome.
Hmm.
Here are the Art Gobblers. I hope that when he finds himself with all this free time in prison, he learns to draw a different way.
It's terrible.
Doesn't it? It's like he created the templates and then it's just AI generated Rick and Morty art.
Well, his timing is impeccable.
So, do we have anything else we want to touch on for Big Kid News?
I figured we would talk about the Golden Globes since that happened.
Oh, yeah.
It's not the most extensive award show, but it is still pretty highly regarded for some reason. So might as well.
Shout outs to Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Hmm. Yep. I always find it really interesting how they break down the different motion picture categories between drama and musical or comedy.
Yeah.
Feels like we've gotten, we should be well past the point of having such outdated labels for them, where it's very clearly divided between expensive movies and less expensive movies.
This is Hollywood, my dear Kyrol. Everything is subjugated by, fucking money.
Mm. No, Glass Onion's just a silly comedy. Avatar is film.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
They did that.
Avatar was nominated for drama. Glass Onion was nominated for musical or comedy.
So, I saw Glass Onion, and I dare say that was one of the most solid movies I've seen in a hot minute.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Top Gun Maverick was nominated for drama. Everything Everywhere All at Once was nominated as musical or comedy.
What the fuck?
Hmm.
That movie it legitimately made me cry. I don't know what the fuck they were snorting.
See, they had the mistake of putting a joke in it.
Oh yes, I forgot. If just because something has a joke in it, it's automatically considered a comedy.
Of course.
Yes. So this isn't a current news podcast anymore, Cairo. This is a comedy podcast, which means
Yes, it is.
we gotta up our joke quota.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, it's really interesting. Um, Do they even have this one listed, or did I misread that? No, they don't have the budget listed. I just find it really interesting to see. Oh, there it is. The budget differences on some of these, just how broad it is between like what the budgets for these movies were compared to what their earnings were. Where you have like Avatar with a budget of $500 million compared to Glass Onion, which only had 40. There was Triangle of Sadness, which I had not heard of. It had a budget of 15.
So it's interesting that that had $40 million for Glass Onion,
Mm-hmm.
because that's not too far off from the second movie that we will both kind of be reviewing later in this show. Um,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
After seeing Glass Onion, I couldn't tell you that it was only $40 million. That movie looked a lot more expensive than I originally thought.
I think it's just a guess. I'm pretty sure when the more broadly distributed budget numbers tends to be marketing budgets.
Mm.
Hmm. But I'm not actually sure. It's hard to, say like what actually it all costs. And especially when you have stuff like Glass Onion and all of those sort of ensemble type movies where they tend to be fairly heavily subsidized by just like who you know when you make them. Where if you know the actors and you can get the big names in there, you can usually get them at sort of a discount by trying to make something good that they'll actually enjoy working on.
Oh yeah.
And then when you have those big names in there, a lot of times you can just use their houses and boats to do some of the filming. I remember Ocean's 12. There's a number of scenes that they have on at a villa that is in Italy. And it's a fabulous place. Would have cost a fortune to film there if uh, George Clooney didn't happen to already own the whole place.
You're kidding me.
No, they just filmed at his house in Italy. And it's a gorgeous house, so it works, but it's just his house.
Now that's what I call working from home.
Yeah. So it's stuff like that
Yeah.
where they get to, sort of cut some corners a bit when they make that kind of stuff.
That's
And it's the same
amazing.
way that oh shit. Sorry, I'm completely lost my train of thought here. Wes Anderson type movies where they have these ensembles. It's like, oh, Wes Anderson has all these people and his budget is only 25 million. How did that happen? Well, because they're working on pennies of the dollar what they normally would because they actually like what the hell they're doing.
So is that why Endgame was so expensive to make?
In part, probably
No,
because you're
that's
paying all of these people at their premium rates.
okay. What's the most expensive movie ever made? What do you think?
I would imagine it has to be probably either well, the most recent Avatar has probably got to be up there because it's kind of subsidizing the budget for like the next three or something like that.
Oh my god, you're not even close. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be a dick, but like, I just saw the most expensive movie according to Wikipedia, and it is not what you
Oh,
think it is.
all right, let's see this.
You ready?
Oh, this hasn't. Oh, okay. I guess this is where it comes in. Yeah, I have it pulled up. This is where it comes in where it's kind of subjective
Yeah.
because they took the low end of the most recent Avatar
Hmm.
for putting it in here. If
Yes.
you take the high end, it's easily number one.
So, most expensive movie ever filmed, adjusted for inflation and adjusted for non-inflation, is
Mm-hmm.
Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides.
Yep. And it
That
still made $1 billion.
is so funny to me.
Mm-hmm. That is wild. I guess that's inflation. Avengers: Age of Ultron cost more than Endgame.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Thanks, Biden. You made Avengers Ultron higher than Endgame in some respects.
Justice League is up here. I'm curious. I'm just gonna open up all these tabs. I'm curious if we can see about Justice League here. if holy shit, Endgame made all the fucking money. Oh my god.
It was literally one of the few films that could ever challenge Avatar, dude.
Oh, they barely. I was wondering if Justice League would be the first sub-billion-dollar movie on this list for box office. Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End only got 960.
Ooh.
But like, holy shit! Like Avatar, 1.9 billion. That's a lot of dollars. Endgame, 2.8.
Yeah, I think the only reason Avatar still is higher is because they did a re-release in fucking theaters. Those cowards. That should not count.
That's crazy. Where is Avatar? What did Avatar make? 2.9, barely. Yeah.
I
All right. I'm
wonder
curious. What is the stupidest, like, high? Here we go. That's a pretty good one. Why the hell did John Carter cost $264 million to make?
because they really thought they could make a franchise out of it.
That's terrible.
It really is.
Oh my God. 2019, The Lion King. I hate that this was successful.
Was it?
$1.6 billion.
I guess that explains why they fucking decided to do
Yep.
a prequel to this.
They make so much money off of these live action things.
I
Where's
hate
Beauty
it.
and the Beast? Beauty and the Beast, 1.2. Awful movie. Like, objectively, it's wrong in so many places. But it made all the money, so who cares?
The stockholders do.
Yeah. And they're happy, so. I am curious. I'm just like scrolling through this, trying to see if I can find like what was the first one that didn't turn a profit? Because even John Carter, technically by the like razor thin margin, turned a profit by like 10 million.
No way.
Yeah, it just barely did. So I'm curious what the first one is that didn't. Even the Lone fucking Ranger apparently turned a profit, technically.
I've never even seen that movie.
It's not good.
Isn't that like the one where they were desperately trying to recapture like the Pirates of the Caribbean feel, but in the West?
Mm-hmm. No.
Yeah. Unforgivable.
I have not heard of this. Oz the Great and Powerful. Turn to Profit. I have not heard of this. Sam Raimi, apparently.
Sam Raimi did an Oz movie.
Yeah. With the Wizards guy, James Franco. I
Huh.
Mila Kunis. Never heard of this.
Neither have I.
Zach Braff is in it, I guess. For some fucking reason.
Doesn't he play Oz?
Probably.
I'm hurting.
Oh my god, even the Battleship movie turned a profit of $100 million.
It's
Like, if
like,
that doesn't tell you what you need to know about where film as a money making medium is, I don't know what will.
so you're saying we can make the Two Schmoes movie and still make a turn profit?
Yeah, probably.
Cool.
Once you get up to these kinds of budgets, yeah, you can't lose. What is this? I've never heard of this. Exodus Gods and Kings. I don't even know what this is. It's a 2014 American biblical epic film directed by Ridley Scott
What?
with Christian Bale and Joel Egerton.
What the fuck?
Aaron Paul, Sigourney Weaver. I've never heard of this.
I'm sorry, I need to take a break for a second after you just dropped something like that on my lap.
Yeah, yeah. Produced and directed by Ridley Scott.
Aaron Paul, Sigourney Weaver, and Christian Bale all in the same movie.
Yep.
No fucking way.
John Turturro, Ben Mendelsohn, whole bunch of people that have been very Ben Kingsley.
This movie
Never heard of
exists.
this. It exists and it made $65 million.
And it got a 30% on Rotten Tomato.
I believe it. It's a Bible movie. I'd be shocked if it didn't. Oh, is this going to be the first? No. Even the Crimes of Grindelwald made a couple $100 million.
God damn it.
Dark Phoenix it's made 50. 2020 Mulan. That was released in China. Oh no, 2020 Mulan didn't turn a profit.
Finally.
$200 million budget, $70 million at the box office. That's how far you have to go down. What? The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. The 37-way tie for 48th place of $200 million budgets. That is how far down the fucking list you have to go to find something that didn't turn a profit.
I love Hollywood.
Here's an even better one: The Tomorrow War.
I,
See, okay, no, but this is the problem though. Is that this one? I wonder if Mulan, because it was a 2020 movie, if it was almost exclusively released on Disney Plus.
yeah, but they also did that weird thing where they make you pay in advance to watch it.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
bet that doesn't count towards box office sales,
You
which
don't
is all
think
they
so?
count for. No, I doubt it.
Hmm.
Because this is the Tomorrow War, which was some shitty action movie on Amazon with Chris Pratt as the lead and J.K. fucking Simmons, I guess too, because why not? 200 million budget, only $20 million to the box office, which I do not believe Amazon would let any of their divisions take $180 million loss on some crap like that. So they must have made some sort of money off of it, off streaming and subscriptions.
This is so weird, man.
Yeah.
It's like they can just show a whole bunch of like investors. I'm sorry. It's like they can just show it to people and it just automatically turns into a good investment.
Mm-hmm. And then right next to they spent the same amount of money making the Tomorrow War as they did making Spider-Man No Way Home. Yeah.
So you're telling me the Tomorrow War was supposedly on par with a giant event movie in an already well established franchise.
They budgeted it that way, yes.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so here we go. This is oh, where did that one go? The financial information includes they factor budget, domestic and international box offices, DVD and Blu-ray sales reports, and total earnings. And the international box office was the number recorded at 19.2 million. So it doesn't count DVD or Blu-ray sales, and it doesn't count streaming sales. Amazon says 2.4 million people watched it.
That's nice that Amazon says that. Doesn't mean
That's
I
not that
believe
good
them.
though.
Yeah.
Like what's an Amazon Prime subscription? It's like $10 for the base one, I think. Something like that.
Unless you're a student.
Let's just say 15 to
Okay.
be generous.
Okay.
Let's assume every person, every 2.4 million people who watched this watched it individually. So there's no double dipping here. 2.4 million by what? $15 a head, assuming that's the only thing they use their Prime subscription for that month. Is still only 36 million. So tack that onto the 19.2 that they had from the other one, and they're still only at 45. So Amazon still ate $150 million on that for some reason.
This is wild to me. Now every day we don't make the two schmoes money. We're just going to look more and more ridiculous. It's easy money.
Oh man, you can see Amazon went hard on damage control after this.
Why do you say that?
Their measure of it being a success was that it had 1.22 billion minutes watched,
That's nice.
which still, if you just divide that by 138, which was the film's length, only gets you to 8.8 million. So 8.8 times 15, just do it times 20. Who fucking cares? Times 20 is still what? 9 times 2 is 18, 180. That barely cracks their budget, assuming the most generous scenario. Yeah, they went on big damage control because it was terrible.
Oh well.
Oh well. Things that weren't terrible though were some of the nominees of this year's Golden Globes.
Oh yeah, this all started from the Globes, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
Do you just want to go down the list here?
first, I want to attack the Golden Globes for denying my
Hmm,
man Bob Odenkirk the Golden
please.
Globe for actor
Hmm.
for television drama. So, shame on you, Golden Globes. We can continue.
Hmm. Okay, okay. We'll just start at the top here for motion pictures. The nominees for motion picture drama: The Fablemans, Avatar: The Way of Water, Elvis, Tar, and Top Gun, and it went to The Fablemans.
Of course,
Really
it would.
curious. So that's kind of wild. We're gonna talk about this more in depth later because we both saw it this week, and maybe it's just kind of getting a second win because I've seen a lot of people starting to talk about it, um, and it is definitely getting a second win through word of mouth on streaming services. But notably, let me see if I don't see the menu almost anywhere.
Really? Well, isn't it like a
They
little too
get
late to get in there?
it came out before Avatar did.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah, it technically released I think in November, September 18th. Um, but Avatar was in December, so it cleared it. There's two nominees in like for individual performances. I just thought that was really interesting.
Hmm. So what you're saying is Avatar. I know the menu got snubbed, so so Avatar can run.
Seems like, yeah, The Fablemans won the Best Motion Picture Award, which is kind of weird, honestly.
Yeah.
It, it's a fine movie from everything I've heard, but the best? I don't know.
Hollywood really
In
likes movies about making movies.
that is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If in fact, I can guarantee us a two schmoes the movie like not only can I guarantee us a Grammy for best soundtrack, an Oscar, a Golden Globe, and you know what? Let's throw in a fucking Emmy there as well. Um,
Mhm.
if we just make it about making a movie.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's weird.
So what's our next
Uh,
movie? I mean, not
Next
segment.
one, Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy. We have The Banshees of Inisherin, Babylon, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery, and Triangle of Sadness, with the winner being The Banshees of Inisherin.
Good job? Question mark.
Yeah. Movie I had not heard of until the Golden Globes happened. It is apparently a, a dark comedy that is set in Ireland with two friends that stop being friends, and it follows the falling out of their relationship.
As most Irish people do.
Mm, yeah, I don't know. It's certainly a choice. It just seems very out there. For the best motion picture animated, we had Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, Inu-Oh, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, and Turning Red. The award going to Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
I thought I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's surprising. I can't think of the like because usually the animated stuff goes to like kids movies,
Yeah.
and from everything I've heard, it's not a kids movie.
It is not a kids movie. That is a fucking dark ass movie.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice. I haven't heard Inuo is Japanese animated musical film. Interesting. Best motion picture non-English language: Argentina, 1985, Argentina. All Quiet on the Western Front, Germany. Close, Belgium. Decision to Leave, South Korea, and RRR, India. which not the last we're going to hear from that one, surprisingly.
Oh no.
Um, with the winner being Argentina, 1985.
Okay.
You know, following that, best performance in a motion picture drama. This is where we start to get into like the weird thing, right? Where they break up best performance in a motion picture between drama and musical or comedy for some reason. And they have this arbitrary line between what's a drama and what's musical or comedy. And it just seems weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, best performance actor, motion picture drama. Austin Butler as Elvis in Elvis Presley. Brendan Fraser in The Whale as Charlie. Hugh Jackman as the Son, in The Son as Peter Miller. Bill Nye living as Mr. Williams, and Jeremy Pope, The Inspection, and as Ellis French. The award going to Austin Butler as Elvis Presley. Which makes sense. Everything I saw, I still want to see this movie still because it looked like a damn good movie, a really good Elvis biopic.
I saw it very briefly when I came home and my folks were watching it, but I
Mm-hmm.
have not had a chance to watch it like front to back.
Yeah, seems solid. Best performance motion picture drama actress Kate Blanchett, Tar, Olivia Colman, Empire of Light, Viola Davis, The Woman King, Andy Arms in Blonde, and Michelle Williams for The Fablemans. With the award going to Kate Blanchett.
Very nice.
I have seen none of these. Finally, we get to best motion picture, or sorry, best performance in a motion picture, musical or comedy, actor Colin Farrell, The Banshees of Inisherin, Diego Calva, Babylon, Daniel Craig, Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery, Adam Driver, White Noise, and Ray Fiennes in The Menu.
It didn't go to our friend in Knives Out, did it?
No, it went to Colin Farrell.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna like rewrite that in my head and say that's for the Batman and not for whatever he did, because I still can't believe that was Colin Farrell in that movie.
Yeah, it's wild. Best performance by an actress, Michelle Yeoh, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Leslie Manville, Miss Harris Goes to Paris, Margot Robbie, Babylon, Anya Taylor-Joy, The Menu, Emma Thompson, Good Luck to You, Leo Grant, with the award going to Michelle Yeoh.
Of course.
Yeah. For supporting actor, Ke Kwan, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Brendan Gleeson, The Banshees of Inisherin, Barry Cogan, The Banshees of Inisherin, Brad Pitt, Babylon, and Eddie Redmayne, The Good Nurse, going to Ke Kwan.
As it should be.
As it should be, and statistically likely, he has been. Let me see what the number is. He's been nominated for so many supporting. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Supporting actor credits for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and up until just recently, he has won every single one that he has been nominated for, except for what was it, the San Diego Film Critics Society.
What's wrong with that one?
But like, how many is this up to? I don't have time to go. It's over 30. He's gotten over 30 awards given to him for best supporting actor in Everything Everywhere All at Once. He is cleanly sweeping.
And I think he deserves it all the way because he's like the best
Mm,
part of that movie.
yeah. Best supporting actress: Angela Bassett, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Carrie Condon, The Banshees of Inisherin. Jamie Lee Curtis, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Dolly DeLeon, Triangle of Sadness. Carrie Mulligan, She Said, with the award going to Angela Bassett.
Because she acted the fuck out of that movie.
She did really good.
Yeah, that's like some of the best acting in the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
But all I can really remember is the throne scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Best director. Nominees were Steven Spielberg, The Fablemans, James Cameron, Avatar, Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Baz Luhrmann, Elvis, Martin McDonough, The Banshees of Inisherin, and of course went to Steven Spielberg.
Of course.
Yeah.
Damn you, Spielberg.
Screenplay: Martin McDonough, The Banshees of Inisherin, Todd Field, Tar, Daniel Kwan and Daniel Shear, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Sarah Polley, Woman Talking, and Steven Spielberg and Tony Kushner for The Fablemans, with the award going to Martin McDonough for The Banshees of Inisherin. Let me get the music stuff. I'm curious, have I actually heard any of these? I don't think I have. Justin Hurwitz for best, or is best original score. Justin Hurwitz, Babylon. Carter Burwell, The Banshees of Inisherin. Alexandre Desplat, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Hildur Gonadotter, Women Talking, and John Williams for The Fablemans, with the award going to Justin Hurwitz, Babylon.
John Williams has like a fucking set number of days left of being a film composer, and they don't
Mm-hmm.
give him the Golden Globe.
They're gonna give it to him next year for the Indiana Jones. I have
Oh,
to imagine.
that's it. That's it.
Yeah, it's like, all right, guys, we're gonna give him the next one. We'll just wait. It'll be fine. Best original song. Nominees are Naatu Naatu from RRR, Carolina by Taylor Swift, Where the Crawdads Sing, Ciao Papa from Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, Hold My Hand, Lady Gaga, Top Gun Maverick, and Lift Me Up in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And the award went to Naatu Naatu in RRR.
Really?
Yeah, which was the Indian foreign language nominee.
That's interesting.
I have to hear what this is now because it's just like, wait a minute, what? Because it's like, what the hell could it possibly be?
I don't know, honestly, because I don't think American audiences have a taste for Bollywood, so it can't be a Bollywood piece.
It seems like it.
Is it? Interesting. I'm just glad it wasn't Ciao Papa because that song's not that great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio is a musical, but the music in it is not good.
Mm,
Yeah.
it's unfortunate.
It is a participation award being called a fucking musical. You tried. Anything,
I mean,
yeah.
it's fine. I don't know.
It's just fine.
It's a song. I don't
It's,
know. I'll finish watching it later. It's like 4 minutes long, but it's fine. I
hmm.
guess it just wasn't stiff competition this year. It's definitely interesting where there seems to be like I haven't gone through it yet, but I'm gonna guess it has to do during like the period of Indian history where there's a large British presence because there's a ton of white people speaking English,
Oh boy.
and that's just like what I'm imagining is happening there, and also probably why it's getting a bit more popularity just because the white people get to see the white people in
We do like looking at our fellow honkies.
it.
Speaking as a white person myself, of the Caucasian persuasion,
Caucasian persuasion. Yeah.
it's almost as much as we like our avocado toast. Am I right?
Do you want to go through the best television series stuff as well?
I'm cool with not because Better Call Saul got snubbed again, and I'm still
Yeah.
salty about that.
Yep. We'll just go through the first couple here. Best drama went to House of Dragon. House of the Dragon.
And not
Best
Better
musical or
Call Saul.
comedy, not Better Call Saul. Nope. Musical or comedy went to Abbott Elementary. And best limited series, anthology series, or motion picture made for television went to The White Lotus.
Now, that's cool and all, but Better Call Saul does all those things.
Oh, wait. Andor didn't even get nominated.
What?
That's fucked up. Diego Luna got a best actor credit, but they didn't nominate Andor for like best drama, I guess it would be. That's kind of fucked up.
Did they tell a joke at all in that series?
I don't know,
Oh.
but it was really good. That's unfortunate. This is also kind of wild. All three of the leads for Only Murders in the Building, Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez, were nominated as Best Actor or Actress roles, but it didn't get the award. That's crazy.
That is like
That's like the whole cast.
they just don't want Star Wars on their list.
I don't know. It's weird. No, they have Diego Luna nominated as Best Actor Drama, so it would have been in drama. Weird.
I'll never understand these Hollywood
Um.
award shows.
hmm. Yep, that was the Golden Globes. That sure was something that happened.
I like the part where the Golden Globes were golden and they were also globe like.
Hmm. Let's talk about what matters here. Let's talk
Oh,
about the menu.
the menu?
Yeah.
What is on the menu?
What is on the menu? I want to say to start, not cannibalism.
Yo, that movie is like very good at making you think of that right away.
Yeah. Everyone I talked to about it, and I had to convince my parents to see this because they're just like, wasn't it just cannibalism? I'm just like, no, I know that the trailer looks like that. It's not cannibalism. Cannibalism is so played out as a concept that I think it genuinely pushed people off of considering watching it. Because it's just like, oh, they're doing this again. Especially with like all of the TV series that have been based around, serial killers and cannibal shit in the last like 10 years.
Thanks, Dahmer.
Yeah.
Truthfully, I think you can't really use cannibalism as a plot point anymore.
No, it is like the most predictable thing you could have.
Really, the only way to play cannibalism is to not play cannibalism. It has to
Mm-hmm.
be just shocking out of nowhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So, despite the menu being the menu, we are not
Mm-hmm.
on the menu.
No, we are not.
No.
This is a tricky one because I want to talk about it in detail, of course, but I don't want to give it away because it is a very well written and performed movie, and you don't want to give away the twist, right?
Well, we can do a spoiler section after our initial impressions.
Yeah, I guess so.
Best of both worlds, because I have a lot
Yeah.
of thoughts on this movie as well.
Hmm. I can absolutely say that I would encourage anybody to see it if they have the chance.
It is a good, like, if you have nothing else to watch, watch it movie.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And it's short. It's less than 2 hours.
It feels long though.
Hour and 45.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a lot out there in new films that are coming in under 2 hours. So I really appreciated that.
I do respect that this movie is very tightly written and
Hmm.
that it doesn't waste your time.
And now I haven't looked this up. I meant to, but I didn't. I don't really care to actually look it up because there's probably very little like behind the scenes stuff out there about this, given how recent it is. Um, Almost all of the movie takes place within the restaurant that this story is happening in. It's literally one room. There's the tables where the guests are seated, and there's the kitchen, but it's all connected into one room so that the guests are seeing the food prepared, right?
Yes.
Um, I suspect that they had a chance later in the movie where they could have gone to a different set and they didn't. Did you catch that?
I did, and I know exactly what you're referring to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it works with the themes of the movie, but I thought that was really interesting from a production standpoint, where for basically this whole movie, it only has like two locations.
2.5.
Like like the gist of it is that there's this super exclusive restaurant set on Hawthorne Island
Yes.
where let me see if I can just is there like I don't like Wikipedia plot. I'm gonna make up my own fucking summary. Wikipedia, deal with it. So there's a super exclusive restaurant on Hawthorne Island, costs $12.50 a person to eat there, and it only seats 12 people on any given night. The movie follows the group of 12 that are going to eat at Hawthorne for that night as they get on a boat to get to the island, and then it goes through the various courses that are presented to them for their meals. Um, as it unfolds, it starts to, sort of explore the themes that it is trying to convey as the movie unfolds, and you learn more about who the individual guests are, why they're there, and sort of what the greater reason for why that they were actually brought there might be. Um, and then as that happens, we start to also learn more about the esteemed chef of the restaurant, Julian Slowick, played by Rafe Fiennes, doing a very good American accent. I had to
Yeah, you would
point that
never
out.
been able to tell me that's Voldemort.
He was great. Rafe Fiennes is just excellent in pretty much everything he does.
He
So,
steals this movie.
yeah, absolutely does.
Yes.
Yeah, and then it just sort of follows from there as the, mystery of what's happening that night unfolds through the course of the movie, but almost entirely set within that room. There's a couple of scenes on other parts of the island, but never for more than literally a scene.
So this movie's budget was only $30 million.
Hmm.
That's pretty
Yeah, and it has a
strong.
big cast. It's got
Yeah.
a strong cast of well-known actors and actresses.
It was really weird watching Knives Out, which is a celebrity ensemble movie, and then coming to
Yeah,
this.
yeah, very similar, like production concept, but completely different.
Yes, this one is very much a horror movie. The other one is more of a
Yeah,
mystery. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So overall, I do have like a few criticisms about this movie.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, the first of all is how do I put this? I got a little like I wanted more from the actors altogether. There's one actor in this movie I wanted like so much more from. The only one who I think is doing like the full like range of roles in emotions is Rafe. Yeah, Ralph Fiennes.
Rafe, I think, is how it's pronounced.
Rafe. My apologies.
I
Rafe.
honestly don't know for sure,
Yeah, I'm
but
terrible with celebrities.
yeah, Wikipedia has it's Rafe, which
Rafe.
is weird because it's spelled Ralph.
Yeah, Rafe Fiennes is like the only one pushing like his acting to the limits at some of these points.
Yeah.
This movie is absolutely brilliant in that because like you really get to know his character very well, and then you juxtapose him to everybody else. That I wish we could develop the other characters a little bit more past their surface levels.
Hmm.
But you're not supposed to be sympathetic for a lot of these characters.
Yes,
Yes.
very much so.
What was your favorite course of the meal?
Favorite one. It's hard to say. I I don't even remember like how they actually have it would I the one where the movie takes its turn because it is
Ooh, yeah,
so abrupt
yeah.
but done very well.
Good point. Good point. Good point.
Where
Mine,
they kind of give you like the little bites of like something is wrong here, and then it's just like, oh, yeah, that would do it.
mine is a tie because I'm considering these the same course, the
Hmm.
last course. Um,
Oh yeah,
yeah, the last two items that are made in that kitchen. Um, Mainly
yeah.
because, and I'll explain it more in detail in the spoilers bit.
Hmm.
But there's nothing like the most striking imagery is that last course at the end.
Yep,
Yes.
absolutely.
And you said you watched this twice.
I did. Yeah,
I'm under the impression this movie doesn't have the same effect after seeing it once and you know what the big plot twists are.
it's definitely not nearly. It doesn't carry the same tension, of
Okay.
course.
Yeah.
That was the big thing with my first watch. Is it is very tense, and it keeps you with it the whole time,
Mm-hmm.
and you definitely lose that because you know what's going to happen, of course.
Yeah.
But it is still plenty good just for appreciating the performances and digging into kind of the finer details of it. I definitely noticed on the rewatch some technical aspects of it that don't quite hold up under a microscope where um, I have to imagine that filming for this would have been done during like COVID times, you know,
Yep.
because it's a 2022 release, so it had been done during 2020, 2021. So knowing the conditions that, difficult conditions that they probably would have been working under, limited options for reshoots, especially when you have such notable actors working in it, they probably can't just come back and travel halfway across the US or the world if they've been, dealing with COVID conditions. Maybe they're isolating for their next project or they're at some. So, yeah, knowing that they can't really do that much to fix some of these issues, it's easy to excuse them. But in terms of just being a compelling story, I think it does hold up. It doesn't quite have the same impact, but it's still good.
So the biggest thing I got out of it was the comedy out of this movie,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
I will stand by it. This is one of the fucking funniest movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's not exactly like packed with jokes, but there's like I think there's at least two for sure, probably three where I like audibly laughed just
Yeah.
because it's really well done.
This movie gets my style of humor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, I would probably give this like a 7.5, a 7 on a
Hmm.
bad day. What about you?
Yeah. Um, that's the problem. Like, I think if I had to, it's really hard to give it a number rating,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Because it's unconventional. Um, and it feels almost wrong to compare it to other things, right? It's like put a number rating on the Mona Lisa, right? It feels kind of wrong to do that. It's like, well, it's not. I've been trying to think of some like fancy way of saying this, so I can like go make a letterboxd account and be a self entitled prick over there with sounding like a prick with my review.
Oh, so
Um,
you're going to Hawthorne tonight. Got it.
yeah, but it's like the way that the product, the final piece of media that it is, in the same way that so many of the dishes aren't meant to be just consumed, is the same way for the movie, where it's hard to rate it the same way I would like a Marvel movie, because
You
it's
got
not
a
a
point.
Marvel movie.
Yeah.
It's just so different than the rest of what you could go out and see, even compared to like not even like, because Marvel movies tend to get a bit of a bad slant lately, compared to like Everything Everywhere All at Once, any of the Knives Out movies, any like even like Top Gun Maverick. These are conventionally good movies, all of them, and I find it hard to apply the same label to those that I would to this.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I see what you're getting at here.
Yeah. um if I like had to put a number on it, it would probably be like a 7,
Yeah.
because there are uh, a lot of people that I think won't enjoy it. Where the the concepts that it plays with, you kind of have to be in the right mental state to want to engage with that kind of stuff and want to think about the movie you're watching. And a lot of people don't want that.
It is a dark ass movie. This is
Yeah,
not the kind of movie you watch for like shits and giggles. This
yeah,
is like you're in a fucked up mood and you want to watch something fucked up.
absolutely. Well, yes, but given that it is also it's self-described as a horror movie,
Yeah.
it's fucked up from like a moral perspective. There's a lot of things that you could recommend that are just like visually gross and shocking. Um, oh god, I kept trying to think of it. There's a World War II movie that I saw a couple of years ago where it is very much like visually like, oh, that is upsetting. I don't want to look at that
Yeah.
kind of way. This one does that, but by forcing you to think. Like, ooh, I'm kind of squeamish about engaging with these topics because I'm a white person and I have privilege. Ooh, oh, but it's still important to do that.
Oh, that's such a good way of putting it too.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
makes you uncomfortable because you have to sit there and acknowledge how you are not the same as the guests that have been brought to Hawthorne. The average person, of course, can't spend thousands of dollars on a single meal, but there are parallels that you are forced to connect to your own life in a lot of cases.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
So that being said, I don't think we can speak much more without going into
Hmm.
spoiler territory. So are you comfortable
No.
with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Cool. So automatically, the most striking, and I want this like as a poster. I
Hmm.
want the fucking s'mores scene as a poster.
Yeah.
Specifically, the part where everybody's crying in the fucking fire and there's chocolate tears running down their face. That is the
Yeah.
funniest shit to me.
Yeah, it's great. And the little play that they had with the text of what the dish was, because that's
Yes.
the sort of recurring thing through it, where it's like, here's the first course comprised of all of these things, and then it gets to the s'mores course, which is just like marshmallow, industrial graham cracker. I'm pretty sure it specifies unethically sourced chocolate, staff, restaurant, guests.
That is like the
It was
funniest thing.
great. It was very good.
Oh my god, I love the like the mess, the
Hmm.
mess. Where it just says "Rest in peace, John Lydon" or something like that. Whoever
Yeah.
the guy who is it just killed
Yeah.
himself to make that.
Yeah. It's great.
That movie is so fucking dark and amazing in that respect.
Hmm.
Overall, like I went into this movie expecting people to be on the menu. I was
Hmm.
under the
Oh
impression
yeah.
that they would feed them like how we pride ourselves on grass-fed cows.
Hmm. Hmm.
I was expecting something like that. He feeds them some really good food, and the human meat is really good, especially. And I think they really want you to play into the cannibalism aspect of it because they show that
Yep.
smokehouse at the
Yep.
beginning, and it
Yep.
definitely looks like human meat in there.
Yep.
Yes.
I had the same exact thought where it's just like that is predictable, right? That's
Yeah.
what you expect to happen.
Hmm.
Um, and just my like my the obvious thing, right, is that you have all these people there and they start disappearing, right? That's how you do the typical horror thing. Oh, one by one they disappear, and then the corpses come out, and oh, you're eating the older guests, haha,
Hmm.
thing.
Yeah.
And it's really good that they didn't do that. And I really appreciated that they didn't kill a single person until right at the end.
I mean, none of the main characters.
No, I
Yeah.
kept expecting like somebody to get killed early on.
That
And like, what
politician.
this,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. He was on my death list.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I expected something to happen, and then they just go and they just cut off his finger, and it's just like, yeah, okay. It has the same impact of being like that shock value of just like, holy shit, they just cut that guy's finger off,
Yes.
and they treated it like it was nothing, but the guy's still there.
Hmm. Even though
And
his
it
plot
gives you the
line.
great moment of, the guy has been shown to be an adulterer. He's had his fucking finger cut off, and then not 5 minutes later, he's still only worrying about his own ass.
I also really like how they get you to connect the dots when they say that Margot is like a prostitute,
Mm-hmm.
between why she recognizes him and why he recognizes her.
Yep.
I do respect that they don't spell that out for you too much.
Yes, it was very well done in how they sort of slowly did it.
Yes. This movie builds on like just introducing the scenario right away, and then it just fills in the world afterwards, which I respect
Mm-hmm.
a lot. What did you think of the commentary on the perversion of art itself in this? Because, spoilers to everybody, the whole theme of this is that this chef is taking revenge on people who represent everything that caused him to lose his love of cooking.
Yep.
Yes,
Yep. Through either, the death of the artist and the commodification of the art. Yeah.
exactly. That's why he's like, don't eat, taste.
Yeah. I thought it was very fitting.
Yes.
Um, and understandable for sure. But it also, of course, builds to the sort of greater narrative point that I guess what Margot and Taylor Joy's character brings up in that he has sort of also lost why he does his art.
Yeah.
And even though he knows that, he pretty wrongly recognizes why he's lost it. And that was a really well done way to sort of end it, to sort of point out that, yeah, you're right for the wrong reason, you know?
Yeah.
It was well done.
This whole movie uh, is just, it's a nice wish for fantasy to it for everybody
Mm-hmm.
who does think about the commodification of their own art.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It is this very trippy power fantasy on the behalf of this chef, Slovik. I really like the scene where he dunks his investors into the water.
Was quite good.
Oh, it's so good because like those guys are just like these privileged frat bro stock holding assets, um, ass hats are just
Hmm.
watching as their boss just dies in front of them and they realize they have like no fucking power anymore.
Trying to figure out which one it is. I really enjoyed the performance given by the middle investor guy.
Oh yeah, the one
He
that's
just
his
like,
birthday.
yeah, the guy who told it was the other guy's birthday.
Yeah.
um the part where in like the middle course thing where it's like man's folly or something like that, or it
Yes.
does like a quick little most dangerous game kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
I love that he like immediately has a plan, does the plan, and it's still not enough.
I love the scene in the man's folly portion where the guy is like hanging out in like the chicken coop, like
Hmm.
just
Yeah,
hiding
that's
from them,
great.
and then they
Just a
just like
great little nugget of comedy.
opens the door and just gives him like a little treat for being the last one caught.
Hmm. Yeah, it was very good.
It is such a good presentation of film. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think of other things in that movie that really caught my the joke with the student loans. Um,
Hmm. Yep.
yes, the student loan joke is the best thing. The catharsis I felt was amazing.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm curious. Because I feel like people, they know Brown is an expensive school.
Yeah,
Um, but I feel like they probably don't quite get how expensive it is. It is $31,000 per semester
what?
just for tuition, not room board, not anything else. That is just tuition.
That's gross.
It is egregious.
With a 6% acceptance rate, fuck that.
In fairness to Brown, they do have like every Ivy League school very generous grants for people who financially need them, but they also accept a lot of applications from people who just have rich parents that are going to pay what 60 $250,000 to send their kid over to fucking the you know East Coast for 4 years.
Yeah, to get on the mean daddy's hair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So very expensive.
and that's why they deserve to die.
Yes.
What else was there that was notable about this movie? I forget. Like, there was like, oh, I did call the happy birthday scene like at the beginning of the
Mm.
movie when they started
Mm-hmm.
doing the mess. Uh,
Mm. Yep.
I turned to my girlfriend and said, "Jesus, imagine what happens when it's someone's birthday at this restaurant."
It was very good.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Yeah, just great little pieces of comedy nuggets throughout it that land really well as dark as the rest of it is.
Yes, I will fully agree to that.
Yeah. Yeah. With that, I think we can go talking about upcoming things now.
Yay! Upcoming things.
Yeah. The big thing in my mind is that tonight is the first episode premiering of the Last of Us show on HBO. And it is had limited early screenings predominantly for, critics and influencers, and it has been rating phenomenally in those early screenings. 98% critic score.
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
It's pretty damn good for a video game movie
Don't you mean TV show?
or show. Yeah, anything based on a video game property, right? There's
But
not a ton.
how does it stack to the Sonic the Hedgehog's movie, which is the
And,
highest rated
I mean,
thing for
I was
I
gonna say that
heard.
sounds like a shitpost, but that's just like actually just true. It's just like one of the better video game movies out there. It's like totally fine, I guess.
That's good. So
Yep.
full disclosure, when we do review this, I will say
Mhm.
I have not played The Last of Us. I know
Yes, and
nothing
I
about The
have.
Last of Us. Oh, sorry.
And I would say, to the contrary, I have played The Last of Us probably a half dozen times, as well as The Last of Us Part Two at least twice.
Okay. So you
So
have
very opposite
watched.
ends of the spectrum here.
Yeah. I dare say, good sir, you're a fan.
I am. I am.
A bias in my podcast?
Very.
Damn.
I'm going to be judging. So I'll say the opening of The Last of Us, the game, is unbelievably impactful for a fucking PlayStation 3 game. So this first episode has a very high bar to clear for people who have played the game because the game handles it so well in those opening moments. And from everything I've heard, it seems from people who've reviewed it that beat for beat they kind of stay to the game as much as they can, which I think is good. It's like if it works, right? Why change it?
Yeah.
And this is the kind of thing where compared to things that have been adapted from animated to live action kind of adaptations, the adaptation from a video game to a movie carries with it a certain accessibility, right? Or
Hmm.
to, in this case, a TV show where um, you don't necessarily need to do anything new as long as you can take what was already done and adapt it in a way that more people can appreciate it. When you already have a movie and you just make another movie, you're not really doing anything to make it more accessible. So there's more of an understanding that, at least in my mind, you should be doing something new with it, or else why are you doing it in the first place?
Hmm.
And this definitely seems to be, I think, a good reason to have an exception for that rule. 9 p.m. tonight. Rev up those VCRs in case you miss it.
Nah, I'm going to use my what the fuck was it? What was the first thing to record television? It's like Truvy or something like that.
No idea.
TiVo.
TiVo? Well, we had VCRs before fucking TiVo.
Yeah, but you couldn't schedule it ahead of time. I could fast forward through the
Yeah, you
commercials.
can. Of course you could. That was the whole thing with VCR. I need to have you watch some technology connections.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the whole thing with VCRs was that it wasn't like it was a huge paradigm shift. They weren't advertised as a way to watch something again. It was done as a way for people because there's only like 5 stations back in the 60s and 70s, right? There wasn't that much TV being made.
Yeah.
In order to keep into it, you would set up the VCR to start recording at a certain day and time, and then you could just have it run when you're not there, like an answering machine, basically, but for your TV. And then when you get home, say you weren't there for the start of the show, you fire up the VCR and you get to watch whatever the show of the month is that people are talking about.
Theoretically, someone could have done that for Breaking Bad.
Hmm.
That's a weird thought to think someone could have a VHS Breaking Bad collection.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it wasn't until later that movie companies were just like, well, and movie companies actually hated the idea of it because they didn't want you to have a copy of their things that you can watch whenever they wanted. They wanted you to pay to either go to the movie theater or to pay to rewatch it through your TV. Because if you can watch it whenever you want, that cuts out a huge amount of control that they have over when it's available and being able to drum up hype for it. And they
Mm-hmm.
actually sued to make VCRs illegal to stop that from happening. And they lost, thankfully, thanks in large part to people like Mr. Rogers advocating for the purpose. But yeah, we live in a timeline where very easily VHSs could have been outlawed.
That's a weird thought, man. Don't.
It is. It's very weird. We are very nearly there, but thankfully, at least compared to that, we live in the good timeline.
VHSs were such a huge part of my childhood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, I'm talking about early baby days. Did you ever learn how to use a VHS when you were like a child?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Absolutely.
that's what I thought. Yeah, we're not that young.
Mm. Nope. 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 I still very clearly remember going to Family Video, getting rentals.
Fucked up thing about Family Video, it lasted longer than Blockbuster because unlike
Mm.
Blockbuster, Family Video rented out pornography.
Not wrong. They
Yeah.
did video games too.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah.
That was pretty cool. I did that a couple times.
I never liked renting video games because I felt like I would
No,
never have enough time to beat them.
yeah, it felt wrong.
Yeah. Thanks, gaming, big gaming. You ruined
Mm,
us.
yeah, yeah.
Did you know? Apparently, in Japan, it's illegal to rent video games.
Really
Apparently,
weird.
yet you can rent a CD there.
I wonder if that's some like industry push protection thing to force people to buy more copies.
Oh, it's more than likely that.
Yeah, it's
But it's,
unfortunate.
yeah, but it's so weird because we don't rent CDs in America. But you know,
I guess that's true. Yeah.
unless you go to like a library, libraries renting out
Mm.
music is like the only legal loophole we have.
Yep. Yep. I don't know. I guess music's always just been so cheap here that rentals never really made sense.
It's actually very true. In Japan, music costs a little bit more because I think they do like a special
Yeah.
encryption there.
Well, and even if you like what 20 like oh god no 40 years ago, and you go from like cassettes into CD transition time in like the 90s, um the economy in Japan wasn't nearly as strong. It was growing rapidly, but it wasn't quite there yet. Today you think, oh, the US and Japan, they're basically, in terms of economic health, they're on even footings. But that wasn't the case for quite a while.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's
So
almost
even if
like Japan had nukes dropped on them or something.
something like that. Um, so even if you go back then, and a CD's $10 here as it is in Japan, the dollar over there didn't go as far, so it was cost more for the average person.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was the large thing with why VHS stores and rental for movies happened in the first place, was because VHS tapes, back when they first started, were ridiculously expensive.
Hmm.
And it's why people generally didn't record that many different things, because you would just write over on your tape, right? You only need the one tape. Why would you need more than one? You're going to write over it anyways. Yeah, crazy times. Crazy times.
The internet really streamlined a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely did.
So glad I never have to worry about making a mixtape.
Just check out my Spotify playlist.
Oh God. You mean you don't actually buy the CDs you want to make a mixtape out of and then burn them to a new CD?
I have done that, but uh not anymore.
What else do we have on the menu today? Pun
All right, we
intended.
have a couple of movie releases.
Ooh.
Literally two.
Oh.
um A Man Called Otto, which is the latest Tom Hanks piece based on the comical and moving New York Times bestseller. A Man Called Otto tells the story of Otto Anderson, a grumpy widower whose only joy comes from criticizing and judging his exasperated neighbors. When a lively young family moves in next door, he meets his match in quick-witted and very pregnant Marisol, leading to an unexpected friendship that will turn his world upside down. Positive, very positive audience scores. Mixed but positive critic scores.
So we've been doing this show for a lot of fucking episodes,
Mm-hmm.
and I regret to inform everybody. Today is the day my legs fucking fell asleep on me while we podcast. This is the worst feeling in the world. What did I get
Yeah,
myself into today?
that sucks.
So I'm going to be squirming around here trying to get blood flow back to
Yeah.
my legs.
That's the kind of thing that's just like, it makes me think like, maybe a standing desk doesn't cost that much.
Ow. I'm like 3 feet above my microphone standing up right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. A Man Called Otto. It's a movie that is coming out this weekend.
go watch it.
We also have Plane, latest Gerard Butler. Name I've not heard in a while. What's he been up to?
Probably not trying to get his legs to stop from falling asleep. It hurts.
What was that? Apparently he did London Has Fallen sequel, and it didn't do well.
London Has Fallen did well enough to get a sequel?
Well, no. but they did it one anyways. And I guess the sequel is technically better than the first one.
A broken clock's right twice a day, I suppose.
Yeah. They called it Angel Has Fallen. But for his current flick, it is Plane. It's an action movie, which is new territory for Gerard Butler. Excited to see how he does with that one.
Yo, I need to go to a doctor because my cardiovascular health cannot be this bad.
Pilot Brody Torrance saves his passengers from a lightning strike by making a risky landing on a war-torn island, only to find that surviving the landing was just the beginning. When most of the passengers are taken hostage by dangerous rebels, the only person Torrance can count on for help is Louis Gaspar, an accused murderer who is being transported by the FBI. In order to rescue the passengers, Torrance will need Gaspar's help, and they'll learn there's more to Gaspar than meets the eye.
So, my legs are awake again. Now my
Okay.
feet are asleep.
Mm,
So, like, I got that
working its way
tingling.
down.
Yeah, I got my tingling feeling. I think it's mainly my left leg at this point. My right feels pretty fine. But, so when you said plane at first time, I thought this was
Yes.
like a sequel to the I almost said Disney, Disney Pixar Plane franchise,
No, no, no,
and
no.
I thought
This isn't
Gerard
the.
Butler and that piece of shit.
This actually seems okay. It's just like a fine action movie. Positive critic scores, very positive audience scores. You can see it now.
Ooh, on what streaming service?
No, like in person, I mean.
No, we don't go out to theaters anymore. Theaters are outlawed.
Voodoo. You can watch it on Voodoo.
Okay, okay. So Google recommends moving your feet in all directions, circular motions for 15 to 20 seconds. Okay. I will survive this, everybody. And if not, you all can join my GoFundMe that I will put in the description of this video if I don't survive. Okay. I think I'm good.
All right.
Okay.
That's all the movies.
I'm upset about that. Okay.
I mean, there's other ones, but they're all not great. We can talk about Night of the Bastard if you want.
Still sounds like a really cool NES like style beat 'em up.
Mhm. It actually has a poster that is closer to that than you might think.
No.
Let me send you this. It looks like it's something from like the 80s or 90s.
That looks like a
I think it's
D&D
supposed to.
book.
Kind of. The
Yeah.
shotgun is a bit conflicting, but the vibes are there.
I see it.
Yeah. We can talk about LeBron's house party.
Oh, yes, please go on about this. This was beautiful.
I just have to read this synopsis. It's so dumb. Aspiring club promoters and best buds Damon and Kevin are barely keeping things together. Out of money, down on their luck, and about to lose the roofs over their heads, and freshly fired from their low lift jobs as house cleaners. I think it's supposed to say low life, but I don't actually know. From their jobs as house cleaners, the pair needs a huge windfall to make their problems go away. In a what the hell movie, they decide to post their party of the year at an exclusive mansion, the site of their last cleaning job, which just happens to belong to none other than LeBron James. No permission? No problem. What could go wrong? How about we give away all of the comedy that's going to happen in this movie? A time traveling DJ, undependable security, a runaway guest list, one borrowed Lamborghini, angry rival promoters, a stolen championship ring, escalating property damage, an angry koala? I that is how they have it. It is dot dot question mark. But also one outrageous ride stacked with double take cameos because everybody loves just saying, "Hey, I know that guy" when they watch a movie, and timeless throwback tracks, R-rated comedy, and two friends worth cheering for. You have to see to believe. In other words, please watch this movie.
It sounds like they're trying to be like Project X, but for
It's
like
weird. Yeah,
LeBron
it
James.
really does.
Yeah.
And to no one's surprise, this was produced by LeBron James.
Oh no. It's like that Tom Cruise thing we mentioned earlier. It's just cheaper to film at his own house.
Mm-hmm. Some of these reviews are pretty good. Deeply unfunny and downright tiresome. Apparently, a reboot of a similar movie that was already done, or this, of the same name. It's just a reboot.
Oh. Okay.
Yep. Other movies. Let me actually see if there's anything. Like there's always movies, right? It's just like, is it worth talking about? We have The Offering, which is a horror movie. In the wake of a young Jewish girl's disappearance, the son of a Hasidic funeral director returns home with his pregnant wife in hopes of reconciling with his father. Little do they know that directly underneath them is the family in the family morgue, an ancient evil with sinister plans for the unborn child lurks inside a mysterious corpse.
Ooh, fancy.
It's getting good reviews. The guy who reviewed it for Roger Ebert gave it a whole 2.5 out of 4. What else do we have? This one's got a funny name, The Devil Conspiracy.
What's so funny about it?
It's just a weird name.
Oh, I was expecting it to be, up for the next musical and or comedy Golden Globe.
No, this is a horror movie, apparently.
Okay. Fine then.
Wait, okay. All right, I'm gonna send you a picture that is one of the promotional images from the movie. And if you can, oh, a copy. Yeah, there it goes. I would like you to, describe in a few words what you're seeing.
I was born to do
Of
this. I almost went to college as an English major.
Yeah, so the infamous Orion describes a scene of the Devil's Conspiracy, and then I'll read the plot synopsis.
Okay, so upon my screen, I have a blue visage inside of a cave. The light is up in the top right corner of my screenshot, and it illuminates a lone figure, solemn in their appearance. They seem to be of, African American heritage because they have a darker skin. They have a crown adorned upon their head that is very reminiscent of almost like a halo like, adorned with Japanese or maybe Eastern Asian influences that seem more like a crown, very golden in comparison to the blue visage of the light. We have a lot of darkness upon this body, so it's hard to make out the detail except for the shiny bits of the armor this person is carrying around. They have a sword upon what looks to be their right shoulder, and they are
Mhm.
carrying a whole bunch of fucking chains with a medallion attached to it as the figure takes a one big large steppy towards the camera.
So, plot synopsis. A powerful biotech company has breakthrough technology allowing them to clone history's most influential people with just a few fragments of DNA. Behind this company is a cabal of Satanists that steal the Shroud of Christ, putting them in possession of Jesus' DNA. The clone of Jesus will serve as the ultimate offering to the devil. The Archangel Michael comes to Earth and will stop at nothing to end the devil's conspiracy.
What the fuck?
So that is the Archangel Michael on his way to stop the Satanists from killing Jesus again.
Okay, okay, okay. I will
Mm-hmm.
live with that. Best not
It
to
is
ask questions.
it's certainly like I kind of want to see this now. It sounds awful, but in like all of the best ways.
Honestly, it sounds like a good like midnight movie.
Yeah. Oh, it's in theaters. Is it showing near us? It is. It's in Kalamazoo. No. No way. It's literally the only place I can find it showing is one of the GQTs here in Kalamazoo.
Oh no.
That is amazing. Is this worth 2 hours of my time and probably about $10?
You gotta think about also the drive there and back.
It's actually just right around the corner for me. It's like
Oh,
5 minutes.
never mind then.
Yeah, no, it's pretty close. I've had worse excuses to just go eat junk food for 2 hours.
I mean, we did go see the SAO movie.
That's true. I don't know. That wasn't that bad.
We did not go into it thinking it would be that good.
That's fair. Ah, that actually sounds amazing. This is like not in a good way. Like this looks like this definitely looks like it pushes into the ironically good category, right?
Like Cool Cat Saves the Kids, kind of good, or are we talking something else?
No, that's just kind of just like cringe good. I mean, this is just like so over the fucking top that it goes back around to being funny again.
I see what you mean there.
Like, look at this shit. This is the Satanist scientists presenting. If I take a second for the picture, the Satanist scientists presenting their clone Jesus to their weirdly young children that are part of their Satanist cult, I guess, along with a couple of nurses that have just pretty standard badges on, but because of their clothes being just completely monotone, they kind of look like Star Wars villains.
Oh, no way. Those are the same people that made the COVID vaccine.
So yeah, the Devil Conspiracy. It
Is that
is.
fucking Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII?
It basically looks like it.
That is fucking Sephiroth. This looks. This feels like an RPG.
You know, this is the kind of movie that I would want video game movies to turn out as.
You know,
Like
I
just
agree with you.
batshit insane. I think that's about it though for new releases here.
I don't see how we can beat that, so I'm happy. God, I just want fucking RPG based off these two screenshots. Square,
Hmm?
hook me up. I will make this for you.
It looks like it. It really looks like a bad Final Fantasy clone.
Yeah, this is like ooh, Terminal Tale.
Hmm.
Anyway, we have anything else we want to cover for the show?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, this has been absolutely enlightening. Pardon the biblical pun there.
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
Miss Orion, and I am in a Schmo.
I'm Carl, and I've been a schmo.
And this is